Jurassic Park 3. Uh, I think it's pretty underrated. I don't really have a reason for that besides dinosaurs are cool and I like how the velociraptors look and I like the Spinosaurus. It's pretty cool. Uh, no, but anyway, don't know a lot about this movie. Uh, it kind of went through a rough production, a lot of script rewrites. Uh, while they were filming, they didn't even have a complete script, so they just kind of winged it most of the way. But I still think it ended up being a pretty okay movie. It's short compared to all the other Jurassic films. Cool, 90 minutes long. But you see a lot of different dinosaurs you don't usually see in it. Uh, like Tyrannosaurus. I thought there was something else in this movie. Brachiosaur, pterodactyls are a new addition of this movie. Well, they show some pteranodons at the end of the Lost World, but that's for like literally 10 seconds of screen time at the very end of the film, so I don't really think that counts. To be fair, the Ceratosaurus only had a little bit of screen time in this one, but it was still cool to see. Especially when I was a little kid, I thought that was like really cool seeing a different dinosaur like that. Um, a lot, like I said, a lot of this movie went through some really rough production struggles. Uh, I feel like part of that is because Spielberg wasn't the director of this film. He was actually executive producer. I cannot think of the actual director's name at this moment as I'm saying these words. Uh, oh, I mean, all in all, I think it's a pretty decent movie. Uh, I enjoy watching it every time I watch it. Uh, I know I'm saying a lot. I need to get better about that. Sorry. Let's say it again. I like this movie better than I do Dominion or Fallen Kingdom. I will say that they both have pretty cool dinosaurs that you don't see a lot in the series, but I think I still like it better. Uh, and that may be different than what I said in the past two videos. I'll make my mind up by the time we finish the franchise, I think. So, another very controversial part of this movie is the fact that the Spinosaurus whoops the Tyrannosaurus at the first 30 minutes of the movie. And I understand why people wouldn't like that. I do. But as a kid, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Uh, I thought that was the baddest thing there was at the time. Especially watching all those AMVs, or not AMVs, I guess it'd be just videos on YouTube of the Spinosaurus to like 3 Days Grace or Skillet or something. I was always into those as a kid. Uh, I mean, I don't have a ton to say about this movie. I think the Velociraptor's design in this is pretty good. There are a couple plot holes, especially because it takes place on the same island as Lost World. But you gotta wonder where the Spinosaurus was in Lost World and why the raptors look different. And I think the canon explanation for that is that these take place on two different parts of the island. One part of the island is more territorially controlled by the Spinosaurus, the other part is more territorially controlled by the Tyrannosaur family. And it just happens to be two subspecies of the raptors on different parts of the island. Uh, and plus, there's two different facilities. There's the engine facility in at one end, and the other engine facility looks more to be like an office worker part. Not really as many fences or genetic looking stuff in that building. Uh, I like how they portrayed Alan Grant in this movie as pretty jaded. He definitely is traumatized by his experience on Isla Nublar, and that's understandable. He got basically kidnapped and put on Isla Sorna with his family that basically hates each other. They bicker a lot. I wouldn't say hate each other, but understandably, he's pretty PO'd about that. And then in the movie, his protege steals raptor eggs, so now the raptors are chasing after them the whole movie until the end. Uh, I had something on my mind, I forgot. Oh, also, if you didn't know, the ending of this was going to be pretty different. At the end, well, there was multiple endings. One ending was going to have, in this script, Alan was actually on the island himself, living with the not among the raptors, but like observing the raptors and other dinosaurs, things like that. And by the end of the movie, he doesn't want to leave. And in another script, after they're rescued by the military, his Sorna gets firebombed and everything's wiped out. So, very different endings. And the ending we got, different stories. I think one script was going to end up being about a group of teenagers that washed up on Isla Sorna and was trying to survive the dinosaurs and things like that. Uh, I think this is pretty good for all the troubles I went through and all the script rewrites I went through. I think it made a mostly cohesive story, at least. Uh, I mean, I have my thoughts. I have my thoughts. I mean, I rated 3.5 on Letterboxd. I mean, I definitely have my thoughts. I mean, there's a whole different part of islands thing, and Spinosaurus beating T Rex, and the Kirby family in general, and what killed the guys on the boat in the very beginning of the movie. I forgot about that. I don't think there's a canon explanation for it. I think you would assume it's a pteranodons, but at that point in the movie, they've not been let out of the bird cage, so I don't know how it could be the pteranodons, unless they were just able to get out anyway, and it doesn't matter. But then why wouldn't they? I don't know. It's a whole thing. Uh, I think some people think the Spinosaurus did it, but like I know the Spinosaurus is aquatic, but this movie's not depicted as that aquatic, it's just depicted as a big dinosaur. And it is a big dinosaur. I don't think it's as big as it's portrayed in the movie, but it's definitely more aquatic dinosaur as we know today. And I don't know, there's just a weird plot hole there with the captain and his helper on the boat at the very beginning. Uh, I think that's really the main plot hole that I don't know explanation for. So I guess that's my main gripe. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. I think I leave it at 3.5 on Letterboxd. I may change that honestly. Now that I've sat with it for a day, I've a day late posting this video, but you get 2 videos a day, like you have been recently. But appreciate you watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.